Most people will not tell you this because most people have not unlocked this level of e-commerce knowledge because they haven't done tens of millions of dollars that'll get them to that point. I'm gonna teach you guys the 3 principles, how to break down the areas where you can make money in business. Because what you guys need now that you understand what money is, or you're beginning to understand it, now you need some direction as to how can you get it, right? There's 3 different verticals. The first one, the easiest one, services. Now, services require something called sweat, time, manpower. Usually, it's your manpower, it's your sweat, and it's your time. Most of you guys right now are broke, okay? You're poor. You don't have a ton of crazy skills, but you have sweat, aka your ability to work. You got time, you got plenty of time, and you have manpower. You have the ability to do something. Sweat, time, and manpower is your secret weapon to get started when you don't have anything. Why is this important? This is important because the first thing that you need is your ability to make money, right? Your goal is to make money as soon as possible. So you need to start by doing businesses and being in niches where your output is in direct correlation with your input, and where the risk and return, right? The risk that you're attributing versus the return is very well balanced to whereas you're never going to lose money. Because when you don't have money, a lot of people want to do risky business, right? They want their money to grow really fast. You need to learn and understand the fundamentals of business. When you're running services, you understand customer service, you understand customer experience, you understand customer lifetime value, how to treat an individual in order to continue supplying their needs, right? Because you're providing a continuous service. Therefore, you have to continue to prove yourself. Ideally, you want a service that is on a subscription or a service that has a return customer relationship. You do not want to be doing one-off services like shoe cleaning. This is the easiest way to get out. Services. Services is the first one that anybody with low skill set, right? Not a lot of money, they can go ahead and get started and implement basically yesterday. The next one, we have our digital goods. Our digital goods are going to be everything that has to do with our digital lives. It can be your Spotify subscription, it can be a course, it can be Netflix. So these are your digital goods. Your digital goods are all intangible products that you cannot touch, right? Like you cannot touch a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, but you can watch it. Now, a lot of people want to jump into digital goods because they don't necessarily understand. They're not going to teach you right off the bat all the essential sectors of a business like services would. So digital goods are extremely important, but digital goods for me are the final frontier if you're trying to build something massive. The second one that we have, and the third one, and this is kind of where I started, physical goods. And that's going to be our e-commerce store. That's going to be our brand that has a clothing line. That's going to be our watch collection, our luxury watches, our cars. These are physical goods. Physical goods is highly competitive, highly competitive, especially online in the internet nowadays. Physical goods are extremely complicated to manage because you have additional costs. You have rolling cost, ongoing cost of inventory, and usually it requires building a brand, right? So you can build a brand in different avenues. The thing is, I personally don't love building a brand behind a single product, right? The moment you do that, your brand dies when the product becomes irrelevant. So I've kind of come to realize the importance of understanding how to do physical products, like physical goods, and have a background in physical goods, but it wouldn't be the first frontier I would tackle. You have a lot more moving parts. I would start with services, right? You have your initial service, what you want to offer. You have your product, whatever it is. You mow the lawn, you cut down branches. I have a buddy of mine that makes $250,000 a year cutting branches off of trees for the neighborhood, right? Not just his neighborhood. It's quite a big operation at this point, but he does extremely well. So you can't knock services because they're just not as flashy as other things, but the startup cost is extremely low. Not only is the startup cost extremely low, but the risk to reward ratio is also tilted to your favor. I got a question about, would you start trading? Well, trading is a high risk, high reward, right? And it doesn't matter how you want to twist it long term. If you hold all this, there's a reason 70% of traders lose. And the reason 70% of traders lose is because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about or what they're doing. Because they want to make money, but they don't understand how the markets work. So I wouldn't consider the stock market kind of in these 3 categories. I would put them in more so a multiplication category of making money. I wouldn't consider it like a job in and of itself, nor would it be the first vehicle of making money. Because if you're not making a ton of money and you lose money in the stock market, it'll mentally fuck with you. It'll mentally like really, really fuck with you. So I remember, when I didn't have a lot of money and I was out here buying stocks, and when the stocks would go down $50, I'd be like, well, there goes fucking half a day's worth of wages, and I would measure it based off of the time that I had, right? So it wasn't really fucking good for my mindset. But if you have steady income coming in, now you can start to learn how to multiply your money. But we're not talking about money multiplication. We're talking about being able to earn money. So the 3 earning possibilities that you have, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to be services, digital goods, and then physical goods. You need to figure out which one is the avenue that you're going to tackle, and you need to commit to one of them. You need to commit to one of them. Okay. So here we have a couple categories for you guys. And then we'll call it, and then the last one is you need to know the problem/solution, but you should know that with all of them. So I won't really put that there. But anyways, this, guys, is how I would recommend you guys start thinking about making money. The first thing is services. Services, being able to provide a service, getting really, really good at one thing is going to give you a massive advantage. You are not going to be the best in everything that you do your entire life. It is impossible. It is undeniable that you cannot accomplish that. But what you can accomplish is becoming extremely good at one thing. And the thing that you're really good at, make sure that not a lot of people can be good at that thing, and make sure that your ability to be replaced is very difficult. That's why you're guaranteeing yourself on a regular basis a seat at the table, because you are offering a service that very few people can offer. You're offering it better than any other individual, and you're hard to replace. If you can offer a service where you're hard to replace, you're extremely valuable, and you're doing the job better than most people are doing it, you will have work and you will be able to make money any day for the rest of your life. This is a guarantee. And for anybody that doubts me, look at the best service providers. They're the ones that do it more efficiently, they do it better, right? And they have the ability to do it at scale when others don't. So these successful individuals, these successful companies leave clues. You just have to open up your eyes and be able to see them. The next one, it's going to be our digital goods, right? So these are your courses, your Spotify subscriptions, your Netflix, your OnlyFans, your NFTs. Usually digital goods nowadays, they have, like I said, a upfront cost, but they don't have, that lagging inventory over your head. You do require some sort of technical background in order to get into digital goods. Digital goods are extremely valuable as they require little to no inventory, and you don't really have to manage supply chain. It just exists. I created a PDF, I think about 2 years ago, that did about $250,000 in sales. It was a PDF called The Anthropology of Consumerism and Product Research Methodology, where I teach people the psychology of consumer behavior and why people select the products that they select, and that it doesn't come down to the product, it comes down to the individual and understanding who your ideal customer and your ideal avatar is. That is how you find winning products, when you find winning audiences, not when you find a winning product. There is no such thing as a winning product. Every product is a winning product. It just has to be sold to the winning person. I know a lot of people talk about finding a winning product in dropshipping, but they don't understand that every product is a winner if shown to the right audience. It's all about winning audiences. And when you can understand how audiences move, how audiences operate, how they're divided, how their demographic is conjugated and put together, then you'll understand the products that serve these people best. Most people will not tell you this because most people have not unlocked this level of e-commerce knowledge because they haven't done tens of millions of dollars that'll get them to that point. So take it for what it's worth. So I know a lot of you guys haven't heard that, and it's extremely valuable. You have winning audiences, not just winning products. And I teach that in the PDF. That PDF will be available inside Capital Club when it opens up. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button. If you, what's our current like rate, Anthony? To give me a W for that, chat. I gave you some sauce. Nobody's giving you the sauce. We already know. There's all these dropshipping channels on the internet, right? All these dumbass dropshipping channels on the internet, and none of them have told you this. None of them. Zero. I can guarantee you. I can promise you. Zero. All right, we got 349. Once we hit 400 on the likes, I'm gonna continue to the physical goods. I mean, I'm giving you guys some dubs right here. We got 460 people in chat. I need 400 likes, then we continue. So far in chat, in today's stream, we've covered services, right? Which should be your first to go to with business, right? You need to get good at selling. We talked about it. You need to get good at selling. You need to get good at being resilient, and you need to be good at being proactive and not reactive, right? Services, having a service-based business is going to teach you that. Find a service. This, guys, write this down, okay? Subscribe, by the way, if you haven't already. Turn on the fucking notifications so that when we go live and I'm out here trying to change your life, you actually tune in so that you are taken care of, okay? So that you're taken care of. So we talked about the 3 essential skills last week in order for you to become rich. Your ability to sell, your ability to be resilient or bounce back, and finally, your ability to be proactive and not reactive in business. Well, in life. But life and business are one and the same. They're not mutually exclusive, nor should they be. A lot of people think that business should be exclusive, but when you live your life as an entrepreneur, entrepreneurship is a lifestyle. It doesn't end at the door when you get back home. You are an entrepreneur. You're born an entrepreneur. You bleed like an entrepreneur. You think like an entrepreneur 24/7. So there is no off day for the entrepreneur. An entrepreneur mindset is not limited to the office. It's a lifestyle.